Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Life episode 491 Glitch in the System. I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, and with me, as always, is my best friend, Rob. I think. Rob's with me.
Uh, I was hearing you speaking, and I wasn't sure where.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
what's up, everybody? Hello. This is episode number one. We're still learning how to talk and use technology.
No. We got a whole new, cool, awesome setup. Thanks to this guy. You might have heard of him. He's this kind of known developer. Goes by the name of Brun. So maybe you've heard of him. But he's set up. He's been working hard on our new theme, which we hope you guys like. And so, glitch in the system is me trying to learn it. So we've got a new layout. We've got some new stuff. You're going to see some things change if you're watching the video. If you're an audio listener, nothing should change, hopefully. so, um, but yeah, you can check us out every week live on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. So, Rob, let's jump into it. And what have you been playing this week?
Just more of the moving game. Haven't been playing much of anything really, just because my systems are not connected yet. So that was a quick one. Although I have been, actually, I take that back. I'll call out the mobile games. I have what now a 0 and probably 7 uh, score with you on that trivia crack game.
Oh yeah, the one that you're blaming the losses on your. Well, you're playing against my son.
No,
Congratulations, you're beating a
no, it's
11-year-old.
that was just the first game. Then I really tried the following ones, but man, my weakness in that game is sports. So if I get a sports question, 99% of the time I will get it wrong. However, I did get an easy one. I think it was today or maybe yesterday when it said, which of these sports is played on ice? And it said like football, baseball, basketball, hockey. And I'm like, football or hockey? Football, one of those two. And I chose hockey and I guessed right.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
No, but the ones that have like there was one with what Serena and whatever her sister's name, Williams, the two Williams tennis sisters.
Venus and Serena Williams.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, which one had a baby? It's like, I don't know. And most of those I can narrow it down usually to like 2 or 3 answers, and it's just a shot in the dark. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's fun. It's fun to lose to Mark.
Yeah. So,
Although when I do play with random people, I have been doing okay with those. But
yeah.
just Mark is a formidable opponent in trivia.
Yep. Yeah, I it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
got some neat stuff. I've been learning some things about like science and geography and
Hmm.
history, and there's things I didn't know, and I was like, oh. And what kills me is like when you read the question and you're like you read the first answer and you're like, oh yeah, that's correct, and you hit it and you don't read the rest of them and then realize, oh wait, this was an all of them, all of the above type of question,
Yeah.
and you're like, I was right, but I was wrong.
Hmm.
so
I was not totally right
so but
according to what they wanted.
right. So got to read all the answers. So
Yeah.
and real quick, I forgot to mention this when I did mention our setup. I do want to give a shout out to not only Broad for setting everything up, but I want to give a shout out to Nerd or Die. They're the ones that made this theme that we're using, and then Broad has customized it and done a lot of work to make it do some things for us. So thank you. Just quick shout out to them. So, all right. So what else have you been playing besides Trivia Crack?
Just Clash Royale, and then through the stupid commercials that they have on that trivia game, I loaded up, what is it, Toon Blast or whatever it's called, because it's just like a game I used to play all the time on Windows Phone called Collapse.
Oh yeah.
So I loved Collapse, and looks like they haven't really done anything recently with Collapse. So I loaded that up, and then I mean it's okay, but I don't like how they're monetizing a lot of this stuff lately. Like Collapse was just plain play the game, none of this, you know, goofy stuff put into the game to make you come back over and over. Oh, and I think we talked about this a couple shows ago. I don't know if it was the on the air or maybe afterwards, but Command and Conquer's coming out with a new game on mobile.
Yeah, we talked about that on our E3 show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CNC Rivals. It came out this weekend, I guess,
Oh.
for Android. I haven't been able to install it for some reason. What?
The
CNC's
game,
fun.
dude, but this game looked terrible.
So,
This game looks terrible.
yeah, so I was gonna try it. I'm like, CNC, I'm a fan of the prior games. Let me just check it out. So I couldn't install it. It won't install for some reason. It gives me an error when I try to load it or try to install it. And then I was reading reviews. Oh man, they're trashing this game. Oh, EA
it's a bad game.
hosed it. EA hosed it. I mean, it's basically the majority of the reviews are really saying that it's like a huge cash grab.
Yep.
So that's disappointing.
Your Skype just froze.
Oh, super.
You're like frozen with like one hand up and
I'm moving on my screen.
well, maybe it's on my end. So hopefully it'll clear up.
Yeah, I can't control my screen at all, but
oh, all right. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll clear up.
yeah, Skype did a update recently, and looks like it's pretty rough.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right.
How about you? What have you been playing?
I've, of course, been playing Clash Royale, also Trivia Crack. And by the way, Trivia Crack does have a no-ad version, and I think it's only like $3 or $4. It wasn't a lot. I ended up buying that. And then my kids got upset because, on the Apple platform, you can share. You have a family, so like when I buy a game, all my kids can get it, even if it's a paid game. They get it for free. And they were playing the free version, and so I checked it out, and I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting rid of these ads. Then they got all upset because they're like, but Dad, the ad version, I can watch the ads and get extra hearts or extra coins. And I'm like, yeah, but the ads are stupid. And some of them are kind of, I didn't think were appropriate for some of my children.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, you can use the the one I paid for.
Hustle Castle or whatever it is.
So, but yeah, it's only a couple of bucks, and if you do plan to keep playing it, then just go for it.
So what does it remove? What exactly?
Well, you don't have to watch ads, like to gain new hearts and stuff, or
what do the hearts do?
Allows you to start a new game, but you're still limited on your hearts, just like every other mobile game. Okay. But it's like, I don't know, it's not that hard to earn them. You really don't need to watch the ads, and I just hate that anyway. So, hey,
how about to get like another turn, like if you miss a question?
So that takes 1,000 coins, and if you're hearing that weird little noise, that's because we're getting a host. And Gunny Chief's a new subscriber, I think on Twitch. I think that came through, trying to learn. So even though it says he's hosting us on Mixer, so maybe that was the Mixer color, but like right now there's a treasure hunt going on. So like you'll see treasure hunt at the top, like there's like new game, Trivia Rush, Treasure Hunt. Whenever you see Treasure Hunt, click on it, okay? And what that does is it basically activates the Treasure Hunt. And you're going to see a board. And there's nothing to do. And it's kind of confusing at first because you think you're going to go in there and do something. But what it is you're basically turning on Treasure Hunt. And then for like a 2 or 3 day span, you can get treasure. So for every correct answer that you get, like when you get, like the first one is like, I think answer 20 questions correct, or it might be 10. And then you open up a treasure and it's like 2,000 gold coins. And it keeps working up to like, I think it's up to 250 questions. And then you end up with like, and it keeps building. So it's like the next one's like 4,000, and it's like 8,000, then it's like 10,000 gold coins. So you can get like 15 to 20,000 gold coins in just a couple of days by doing the treasure hunt. So, and then you can, if you don't have enough games, you can play more than one game against me. But if you have to have hearts to start one, or if I start one with you and you don't have any hearts, then you can't start that one yet. But again, as you go through and you miss questions, you get that free spin, and sometimes it gives you coins, sometimes it gives you gems, sometimes it gives you hearts. I've never had to pay anything outside of just unlocking the game. So, and it's fun. I really do enjoy it. It's quick.
Yeah.
It can be quick. And that there's a lot of questions out there. And it's a good variety of stuff. And I think the app is very well done. So
I've only had, I think, one repeat question. Wish there were more. Especially sports.
And you're like, oh, I got that one wrong last time too. So, but I've been playing Dead Island Riptide. Been working on that game with Comrade, and her and I we're at the end of the story, but we can't finish it because we're trying to go through and do all the other achievement type things that you can do. So we're pretty close, but what's frustrating about this game is we didn't know it at the time, but there's these side missions. There's main missions, side missions, team missions, and then continuous missions. The team stuff is new, and if you don't do certain things by a certain point in the story, then it basically stops you from being able to do all those team missions, and we went past that. So we can't get the achievement of doing every mission. So now what we got to do is go through and get everything that we can, except that, because there's no way to get that. And then we may have to restart a new game. Well, we're definitely going to have to restart a new game. But what we don't know is, will we have to do every mission again, or will we have to work through and do those team missions as they come up, which is going to force us probably pretty much through most of the entire game anyways. But we can just like mainly do, I think, the main missions to get the team stuff, knock those out as soon as they appear, but I don't know if it will count. Hopefully those will count, but it could be one of those of that you got to do every mission in the game. So we're not sure if it's tracking, since we've done 80% of them, will it pick the other 20% up in a new game or require us to play the whole thing again? So, but the good thing is we like the game. So, but yeah. It's frustrating when it's like we went and did something, all of a sudden it came up and said this mission failed, and we're like, we didn't fail anything. What's it talking about? We just kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't, we just figured it was like a glitch, and found out later that no, we went too far without doing some of the team missions that we were unaware of. So, but yay. Also, Lumines. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I call it Lumines. This game I used to play back on my Sony PSP. I think that's what the first one was called. Yeah, PlayStation Portable.
Lumines.
Lumines.
I thought that's how I always said it.
I call it Luminous. I don't know, but it's on the Xbox. And so I grabbed that this week, and it's the same game, but I believe it has more stuff to it. Maybe not. It's been so long since I played it. Like I said, PSP people. This is before the Vita, so that tells you how long ago I played this. But I believe there's new stuff. Like you can go in and you can pick an avatar. You can unlock. There's a bunch of stuff to unlock. I think there's different game modes. Like there's a puzzle mode. There's I can't remember what the other stuff is, but then there's the main mode trying to get through it. It's fun, but man, it gets tough. So I
Good
like that
music?
game. Oh, same music,
Yeah.
uh, same exact music from the PSP game. So
Okay.
the music's cool. I love it.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
So, of course, the standbys, Gems of War, Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
I did those, and then I also picked up Danger Zone 2. Now, if you remember, I think it was last week. I believe it was last week. No, maybe it was probably before we did our 2 weeks. I talked about Danger Zone, and it was basically from the guys who did the Crash mode from Burnout Revenge or whatever. So it was like Crash mode, except it was like in the simulated environment, so you're never outside or anything. Well, Danger Zone 2 just came out this week. It is outside, but it's been changed quite a bit. Now, I will say this. Here's some things I do like about it. You can run into other cars. I mean, you can head on smash into them. Now, in Danger Zone 1, as soon as you crash, you're done. Like, your car's done, and you got to wait for a smash breaker to move any further. And I'm like, man, I don't remember that. I thought you could hit stuff until you actually crashed. Well, this one allows you to, you can slam into stuff. You can sideswipe cars, and then you get down, and you're trying to get to the crash zone area. But you can start smashing stuff, which is really cool. That's super fun. And then you get down to the area, and then you create havoc just like in the first game. It looks better. It has outdoor environments. The game does look better, and I think it responds, and it's a much better game. However, they took out, like, this is, and I got to go back because it seemed to me that you could play this game like a 2-player, like Danger Zone 1, and this doesn't have it. And it's weird because it's like it starts up and you just play. And if you clear that zone, it automatically loads and takes you to the next one. Like, I was like, wait a minute, I only got a bronze. Usually what I normally do is play until I do a certain, like I try to get gold, especially on the very first level. But you get bronze and boom, it automatically moves you on to the next one. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. I want to work on this one and get it gold, then move to the next one. But it doesn't allow you to do that. And also, the text on the screen, they've got like, you're outdoors, so you're on like this highway, and there's this nice blue sky with white clouds. All the text on the screen is white. And it's like, I can't see it. I'm like, this was dumb. And I'm like asking my kids, I'm like, what does that say? And they're reading off, I've got older eyes, so that's part of the problem. I'm having problems reading stuff right in front of me. But this was dumb. Like, and so many times it's like all the text on the screen is really small and it's white and it blends in with the background. I'm like, who even like checked this stuff out? Like, nobody went through this. So it's like, come on, that's ridiculous. But the game is fun. It was only like, $14, I think, or I don't even remember, but it wasn't very expensive. But if you do like Crash mode, check it out. I think you'll like it. It is better than the first game, but there's some things. Again, maybe Danger Zone 3 will get it all right. It's still like lacking in some things, and it seems like they don't really tell you what you're supposed to do. Like the first time I got in, and I'm like avoiding the cars, and then I accidentally hit one, and I was like, oh, I'm still driving. And then I just started plowing into him. I'm like, oh, cool, sweet, this is what I want. But then it's like you get down to the danger zone, and there's like a red striped, those little like see-through walls. And it's like you hit that and you stop, and then it's like, okay, now what? And then it's like, oh, you failed or whatever. And it's like, okay, so you got to get there, and then you have to create the crash, but it wasn't as like obvious at first. But now that I played a little bit, it's like, okay, you can see it's like written on the pavement, crash or danger zone or whatever, and you'll see some markers and stuff. But yeah, so it's out and available on Xbox. Came out this week, so
Okay.
yeah. Can I recommend it? If you really loved Crash Mode, then yes, and it's not a lot of money. But just know, like the last one, Danger Zone 1, it's not perfect. So, but it is still fun. My kids love it. Especially my youngest kid, my youngest son really loves it. He enjoys it. And then there's one, like the third level of this game, you're driving a semi. That was a blast. Just wrecking shop. And they have things like knock out so many vans. So there's little also challenges, like as you're going to get to the zone to make the thing, they'll have like wreck 10 vans or something. So you're trying to hit all the vans as you go. So it is better, an improvement over the first one, but I think it's still lacking in certain areas. That's more maybe cosmetic, not game breaking or anything. But the game did crash on me once, but I don't know if that was the box or the game. It only did it once. So, but if you're a diehard Crash Mode fan, then I would say get it. That is all that I did this week.
It's a good amount of stuff.
It is. So, all right, moving on. If you would like to support us on Patreon, you can by going to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon. And I want to thank Chris Smith for being our latest patron who just actually joined today. Thank you, Chris. And
Thank you.
I know you're watching us now, so I need to get you on here, dude. We'd like to have you back on the show sometime. So I will try to remember to reach out to you this week and see what you've got coming up, any available times. If you'd like to leave us a donation, one-time donation, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate. And you can also subscribe to our channels on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. All right. So we're going to jump into our topics for this week. Now, I was excited about this one, Rob, because I'm a fan of Dead Island.
Oh, very much so.
You know, and this is something I think I was thinking about this. Like, I don't know many people that like Dead Island. I know a lot of people that love Dying Light, which essentially is the same people that made Dead Island. It's like, it's almost like kind of like Dead Island 3. It was like the third game they made in the series, but they added the parkour and right. You know, but it's still very much a zombie melee style weapons, and you know, it's still the same type of game. I didn't like it. I did not like Dying Light. But I know a lot of people like love it and hate Dead Island, like, you know, and I'm just sitting there going, so it was making me think this week, like, what is it where I seem to like these games that like the majority of people don't? And it's true. Like some of my most favorite games are Syndicate on the 360, which was phenomenal. I kept playing and playing and playing. Stranglehold. I don't know if you remember that one. That was on 360, where it was like, I think it was a John Woo game where you were playing like this Chinese detective or Japanese detective. I think it was Chinese, but you could like run into an area and like slide across the table while you're shooting at people. You know, it was kind of like a slow down bullet time, third person game, a shooter, and oh my gosh, I loved it. Thank you, New Face Gamers. Stranglehold was awesome. You know, and then it's like Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. Now, I will say Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide are glitchy as can be. And I think Riptide's even worse than the first one. But there's something about it that is so fun, and I love it, and it's just, you know, and then I don't know what happened with Dying Light, but like we're the popular, it's almost like I'm not with the popular kids, you know? It's like back in Chicago, you know, everybody's a Cub fan. I wasn't. I was a White Sox fan. You know, it's just like I kind of, it seems like I'm always going for the lesser popular, lesser rated game. I love Crackdown, right? You know, I love Crackdown. I want Crackdown 3 so bad. it seems like the games that I really love don't, get a lot of sequels, or they don't stick around. So that being said, Dead Island 2 was shown. There was a trailer for it, years ago. And I was like, yes! I was so excited. And then it kind of got. I think if I recall, that company sold off, whatever. I don't know what happened to it, but it got kind of lost in the shuffle somewhere. But they're making like a new mobile game. Let me pull this. Actually, I didn't even pull the article up here yet. But there's a so Dead Island Survivor is a free-to-play tower defense game for iOS and Android. And I guess there was a tweet for the official Dead Island tweet. They were talking about, they mentioned this game, and then somebody had replied, "What about Dead Island 2?" And they actually replied saying Dead Island 2 is still in development, and we will share more on that at a later stage. So, yeah, this was originally set to be released in spring of 2015. It sounds like it's still alive. They're still working on it. I hope we get Dead Island 2. I'm really excited that something that I'm happy about, or a game that I love, may get. But again, it falls into that crackdown. Like, yeah, we got nothing to say about it, but yeah, we're still working on it. And it just keeps getting delayed. So I was happy. I'll take it as good news that the dev is saying it's still in the works. So, in the meantime, I will probably be playing Dead Island Riptide for a third or fourth time. I've played it through several times on the 360, so it looks like I'll at least get 2 times on that the once since we messed up. So, but have you played any of the Dead Island games, Rob?
Yes. I've got, I think, most of them, but I've never gotten very far in any of them.
They're fun. I like them. You get the melee weapons, and they
I got to try those again, because when they first came out, that was like right around the time of Walking Dead. I think Walking Dead just started, something like that. And zombies, man, they used to like freak me out a lot. So I had my old, you know what I'm talking about, where I'd freak out. I'd just get caught up in the ambience, however you say it.
Yeah.
Like with the Aliens games.
Yeah.
I just can't handle it. So now there's been so many of those zombie games or zombie TV shows that I'm pretty much desensitized to it. So it probably won't bother me as much. But the one notable thing that I totally remember from the original Dead Island is that they had Cisco phones in the hotel or whatever it was. And I work on Cisco phones. So it was like, hey, there's a phone. You tend to notice them when you work with them all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's good stuff.
So I don't know. I might have to check out the mobile game, but I don't really. I have really no interest in it, but I am excited for Dead Island 2. So
yeah.
All right. So moving on from Dead Island, the Far Cry 5. They've got their Lost on Mars DLC that is being released on Xbox One, PS4, and PC on July 17th. This is the second piece of DLC for the game. You can buy it for $10 itself, or it is part of the season pass if you purchase that. So what this is, it says it takes the players from Hope County to Mars, and you're going to be tasked with stopping an alien invasion of Earth. The DLC includes new weapons, includes the Blaster of Disaster, Hellfire, and Morphinator, and the new Space Jet's traversal tool. Outside of the DLC, new Mars-themed assets are available in Far Cry Arcade. Those are available now for all players. The new sci-fi creation assets can be integrated into previously created maps or can be used to make new maps from the ground up. Players who purchase Lost on Mars will also gain access to new weapons, the Obliterator Taser, Phaser, Annihilator, and Nerve Reaper, Grape Popper, and Hellfire, and you can use those within the main game. So that's kind of cool. But July 17th, so that's this Tuesday. Um, Jonathan, I know you'll be listening, and you already hit me up on Facebook. So yes, I'll be looking for you this week, and we'll be running through that. Comrade, I'll also be running it through it with you as well. So this week. Um. So Rob, this one caught me off guard. I don't know if it did you. Microsoft reveals a new controller for Xbox One. When you see
Yeah.
that title, what do you think? What did you expect it
Were
to
you thinking
be?
Elite controller?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Wah,
Um,
wah, wah, wah.
exactly, but it still looks pretty cool. It's the Xbox wireless controller, the Sport White Edition. This is going to be worldwide release on August 7th. It's a fresh white base color, the same white offered through the Xbox Design Labs, with mint accents and gray and silver patterns. The gray rubberized diamond grip on the back of the controller is designed for comfort and will help you stay on target throughout your gaming session. So this comes out August 7th. It's going to be. Oops, that's a different. That's for the charging. I thought there was a price in here. Oh, $69.99. And it's the first in the new Sport Series line. So it looks like we're going to see more controllers in this Sport line. But they do. So it's $70, and it does come packaged with 14-day trials of Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass as well. So
Yeah, when I saw this, I was looking at him like, what's so special about it? I don't get it.
the rubberized grips, man.
That's it. And I mean, it's got
I
that
don't know.
that little stand is okay.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah. I mean, it looks. I don't know. For some reason, it reminds me of Halo.
It yes, I kind of felt the same way, like
Yeah.
a white Halo controller, if you will.
Yeah. It's like
I think
that
it's
whole
those
futuristic.
the hash marks or the crosses.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
It's like Halo, Star Trek-ish kind of.
yeah. So it looked cool,
Yeah, it's nice. Another controller.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think you've got a story about yet a different
Y-
controller.
Oh yeah, yeah. So so there's an interesting Kickstarter that's up right now. Let me see when it ends. It's for the Mega One. It's actually a mod for either a PS4 or an Xbox One controller
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
that it adds this industrial grade vibrator, and it's got a jet fighter ignition switch like a real one,
Yeah.
I guess. And this motor that's they say is 500 times stronger than regular DualShock or Xbox One controllers. So this thing is going, oh, it's 41 days to go. So this project ends on August 26th, 2018. And they're almost halfway to their pledging goal. 30 backers. They only want $7,500 approximately. 41 days to go. And then they're going to make this. So it's not cheap. It's about $100 for this kit, and that requires you to use one of your own controllers. You can pay $150 and then get a ready to play, controllers included.
And
Estimated,
it's already modded for you. They're ready to play
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah, because it looks like you just somehow attach a controller, so it like plugs in somehow. And I imagine, it attaches to one of the ports or something. Who knows?
Yeah, you get
But
it says there's a video instruction They call it the 5-minute mod kit, but it says easy to follow, no tools required. So
Yeah. So the look of this thing is you hold your controller and this thing hangs underneath it. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's the size of a pop can, wouldn't you say? Like, 12
yeah,
ounce
it
can
to me it looks like
approximately.
it'd be super heavy.
Yeah, that's what I
I
was thinking. But, their whole premise is, you know, wait, how do they describe this? It's like experience the games in a way you can't today. You can feel the game, and that's what Mega One is all about. Now, I don't know about that. I mean, did you ever like Mark? Did you ever use like one of those compactors? For compacting dirt or sand. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can get them at Home Depot to rent.
No, I don't think I've ever.
It's like it's this big platform and it like vibrates to,
Oh, it's like a
tap
jackhammer, but
down.
it's flat to
It
pound
it
everything
tap
flat.
yeah.
Yeah,
It taps the
yeah,
dirt so you
right.
can compact it like if you're building a patio or something. And it's like when you use some of these things, it's like your hands go numb from the vibrations.
Yes.
I can imagine this thing being like that. It's like, do you really, really need this thing to like shake your hands like crazy? I don't know. It's might be gimmicky, but I don't know. I don't know if you need the vibrations to be 10 times stronger, especially for $100.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm annoyed by just the rumble that is in the standard controller. So there's no way I want this much. But
Mm-hmm.
I did link it out into all of the chats. So those that are watching, if you want to click the link, it'll take you there if you're interested in seeing it to the Kickstarter page. So
Yeah, so I
a
mean all this really does is just amplify the vibrations.
yeah, but they even talked the way this looks though too is I think they said something about force feedback. Yeah, like a
Well,
there's
that's
industrial
reaching.
grade vibrator force feedback. um, I don't know. I don't care for necessarily for force feedback when I'm like in a driving game or something.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I really don't. It's bad enough as it is in the regular controller. So
So
this isn't for me, but I can
yeah.
see people wanting to do this.
So here's the features. Works with any Xbox game, detaches in 10 seconds. So it looks like it's easily removable or redoable. You can adjust the level of force. I guess that's nice. So you can tweak it to,
Yeah.
if you want it to be stronger, but you don't need it to absolutely shake your hands apart. Jet fighter ignition switch to turn it on or off. So that's kind of cool. And it's got an exoskeleton design, so it fits around your existing controller.
I
Eh,
do like the jet fighter ignition switch though.
yeah, that's
That's
kind
pretty
of
sweet.
cool. So yeah, that switch is where you flip up the red thing, and then it's probably got a toggle underneath it,
Yep.
or is it you just depress it? How do those work? You know
No,
more
you
about
flip
jet
the red
fighters.
lever up and then you toggle the switch underneath it.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll basically flip up the red switch and then flip up the toggle switch.
It's like a
Because
cover.
yeah, and then to turn it off, you can when you lower the red guard, it actually toggles that switch off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I never
Mark
imagined
has a
I'd
little
need that.
more. Yeah, you've got a little more airplane experience than I do, right?
I've seen one or two.
A couple to tree.
Couple two tree in my lifetime.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, one of them a little too much where I'm like, get me back on the ground, get me on the
Yeah.
ground. Oh man, I got to ride in the back of an F-16 and whoo boy, I was puking, but it was fun. All right,
Oh,
anything
there's
else
a
on your controller?
there's a video of it on Digital Trends actually. It's pretty big. This thing's pretty massive. Actually, I'll put it in the chat for anybody that wants to see it. But man, this thing is. There it goes. I just put it in the chat.
All right.
This thing is huge. I mean, just, whoa, man! Imagine resting this thing in your lap. Oh,
Yeah.
ouch! Did you
All
see that
right.
video?
No, I'm not going to play the video.
Oh yeah, you can.
That
That's
that
right.
would I don't think everybody wants to hear it right now.
Yeah.
So, but all right. So
Anyway, yeah. That's enough of that.
so I wanted to talk about a game that I have. So if you guys listen to Horrible Gamers podcast, you
Hmm.
might be familiar with Ryan. He's Gib8777. He has talked about Dead Cells, um, and he really loves this game. And I've watched him because he streamed it, and I've watched him play it, and it does look interesting. Dead Cells is launching on PC and console next month. He was like in a beta, but this is going to release on August 7th. It's actually coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, Mac, and Linux for $24.99. That alone is like whoa. But this is it's an indie roguelite Metroidvania mashup, if that means anything
Okay.
to you. But it did look kind of interesting what I saw, and the fact that it's on Switch. That I was like, I could see maybe playing that game on my Switch as opposed to
Yeah.
my Xbox, because it's like if I'm on the Xbox, I'm sorry, Gems of War, or Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. You want to. Those are perfect games for the Xbox One X.
Hey, I've played Fallout Shelter on the Switch. Yeah, the X is you got to have a big screen to see your.
Yeah, that's
It's a
right.
little frustrating to play that on the Switch. I will
Oh,
say that it's
I can't play it on my phone because
it's too small.
too tiny.
It's.
Yeah.
I think Fallout Shelter actually would be better on the PC. Probably is its best, but because it's still you got to cursor down. It's like click, 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 over and down and up, and you're constantly moving your stick trying to get over here to, oh, give me this water, give me this power, give me this food. Why can't they just automatically collect it? Why do I have to go click on it? It's so frustrating. So I think that needs the mouse where I can just move my mouse, click, 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 instead of going down and down and down and over and over and over and then go click to get it. But anyways, so if you're interested in it, the game's going to be $24.99. It is available, let's see, for pre-order right now on all platforms except the Switch. Switch will begin pre-orders on July 18th, which is this Wednesday. Anyone who pre-orders one of the console versions will get a 20% discount, bringing it down to $19.99. So if you are interested in this, you will save $5 if you pre-order it before August 7th. So might save you a few bucks. So there you go.
So one thing that's interesting is they say that this game is on IGN's list titled one of the 15 games every fan of Dark Souls should play. Does that mean this game is impossible?
It could be. I mean,
But it looks good. It looks
when I
fun.
see Dead Souls, like, yeah, I'm out. Or Dark Souls or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dead Cells. I was yeah. Say Dark whatever you just said.
Dark Souls.
Thank you. Dark Souls.
The
That
exercise
counts
in
me out.
frustration.
Yeah, that counts. I'm like, oh, it's like that? No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So and your Skype froze
Okay.
again on my side, but it'll clear up. It did earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah. So the next one, I saw this story. I thought it was kind of interesting, and there's like sort of a personal connection to this. And there's an article from the Daily Star in the UK, which I think it's a tabloid, but
Yeah.
I don't know how tabloidish it is. I imagine very. But they had an article that says PS4 and Xbox games Parents are failing their kids by letting them play 18 plus year old, violent games. And I was kind of wondering about that because, or maybe let me just elaborate a little more on what they have in the story here. It says half of parents allow young kids to play 18 and over violent games unsupervised, according to a study released last week. And I don't think they really cite the study yet, but um, there's a 40% of moms and dads, they're worried about negative change in behavior and such. And um, there's a demand that parents heed the age warnings on the boxes of games. Uh, and said video games provide society which a diverse medium, but not all content is created that's suitable for everyone. Age ratings protect young children from inappropriate content. They also provide consumers with information about the nature and appropriateness of games. And there was a UK study that reached out to 2,000 parents, and they discovered that 86% of parents permitted or admitted that they don't follow age restrictions, which, I mean, I think a lot of us can kind of fall into, but there's extremes to that.
Right.
And so, I mean, to get off the article here and just to discuss it briefly. Now, I know that Fortnite is what I think teenage.
I
I forget what the
pretty sure it
rating is
is.
on it. Yeah, but there's a lot of kids that play it, and I think the older kids, the ones that are close to teenage, they can handle that, and it's animated. It's not really realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's got
Right.
that. It's not cell shading, but whatever you call it, animation,
It's more
and it
cartoonish.
yeah, it's cartoony. It's not like PUBG or any of the other games, and that's acceptable. And you know, in terms of violence, they're shooting each other, but that's something that's even in Mario games. It's different characters, but you're still doing that same kind of stuff. And Fortnite, I think, is tame, I guess, in comparison
Yeah.
to a lot of games. Now, there's a lot of games that are quite inappropriate for kids. And
GTA.
yeah, like GTA. And I was shocked to discover that my son mentioned that his, I think now 7-year-old cousin is allowed to play, and this shocked me. He's allowed to play Far Cry 5.
Wow.
Yeah. But, it's like,
Wow.
oh, they just turned down the volume. I'm like, really? And it's like, I was like, should I say something? It's like, do you not know what's in that game? I mean,
You
how
know, a
does a
lot of
parent allow that?
there's a lot of people just don't care. I was years ago standing in a GameStop back when I went there,
Yeah.
and I was in line, and this lady was buying a game for her son, and I don't remember what the game was. I believe it was GTA, but the clerk even said
That's a couch co-op, right?
the,
Yeah.
the clerk even said, "Ma'am, this is rated M." The kid was standing there like, "Oh, here's my game." I mean, I think he handed it to the guy, and she's like, "Ah, it's all right. He sees that stuff on TV anyways." And I'm like,
And the kid tells him to shut the heck up.
"Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
your mouth.
exactly, yeah." So I'm just like,
Door.
wow, it's just you just letting society raise your child. You don't even care. And then when he becomes and it's not that he's going to become a dirtbag. I mean, this guy could become a really good person in life. But, if he does become some dirtbag, druggie or murderer or something, then she's gonna be like, "What went wrong?" And it'll be someone else's fault, not hers, not her for being a dirtbag
Right.
parent.
Oh yeah.
And we can't. I got 3 kids. Rob, you got a son. We're not perfect. We screw up. I screw up every day with my kids. I think my kids are gonna be so messed up by the time they're on their own. But that's and I can't
No,
protect them
you're
from
don't be so
everything.
hard on yourself.
I can't protect them from
Yeah.
everything.
No.
But
No.
I certainly need to try. And I let them play, like, I'll let them play Halo. I'll let them play Call of Duty, but not online. But they
Right.
can play, like, against each other, split screen or whatever. Um, I'll let them play the racing games. Like, my son came in, he's walked in and a lot of times, like, "Hey, Dad, can I?" He likes to just sit and watch. And he'll ask, "Can I come in and watch?" And I'll say no. If it's something he doesn't need to be seeing,
Right.
then no. Like I was playing. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I played Vermintide. What
Okay.
Warhammer Vermintide 2?
Right.
I
Yep.
think that's what it's
The
called.
new one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was playing it right before we started the show tonight. I did play that one. He walked in and he says, "Can I watch?" And I said no. Because you could say, well, you're killing or bashing, um, uh, what do you call it, like orcs and stuff. But I just started the game. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I was lobbing heads off of some kind of
Yeah.
creature. I don't, and it's just like, okay, yeah,
It's like graphic violence.
it's a little bit more. Yeah, it was pretty more in your face. Like I would never let them sit and watch me play Gears of War, you know. But I'm fine with them watching me do Halo, and it's like, well, you're still shooting. They're still, yes, but again, it's not. I don't want the realistic stuff, and and then there's sometimes I've got to decide, which am I okay with this game and not this game, and But I think parents need to, no matter what you decide, at least have that thought process. Think about it. What is your child looking at? And if you say, well, my child can play GTA because he sees all this on TV, then maybe you need to
No.
start realizing what you're letting him watch on TV and reevaluate that. Like,
Right.
it there's stuff on the Disney Channel that is crap. Even the Disney Channel's not even safe anymore. I've seen things on there going, what? Because my kids watch like Nick and Disney, not Disney as much anymore, but as they're getting older, I think it's Nick Elodian. They watch a lot of maybe Disney because there's like Teen Disney. They watch a lot of those shows, but there's been some stuff that's just like, man, how is this on Disney? So you can't just say, oh, it's Disney, it's safe. You can't let somebody else dictate and raise your kids. You got to be a parent, be a part of their lives, give them a fighting chance. It's super hard, and I feel so bad for my kids. One's about going to start high school um, this year, and oh man, just the stuff he's going to be confronted with, the stuff that I've heard that they've already gone through. It's just like, oh my goodness. So we don't have to always give them what they want. We need to give them what they need. Sorry, I'm going to jump off my
Right.
soapbox, but it irritates me when, and if someone out there is mad at me for saying it, that's okay. You know, and I'm not, all I'm saying is just take a look at what your kids are doing. And if you're okay with it, okay, but at least have that process and think about it. That's it. I'm not telling anybody how to parent. I'm just requesting that they think about what their kids are doing. We got to protect our kids because we're the only ones that are
Yeah.
going to do it.
Right.
So,
And I think that kids process things a lot different. Because there's that age, like when they're really young, where they see TV and they think that's real. You know what I mean? It's like it's like looking out a window and
yeah.
seeing something happen in real life. They think, you know, Tony Stark is a real person.
Dude, I
You
can't.
know, it's,
Yeah, what's changed with that? Did you ever grow up not knowing the difference between TV? Maybe because everything when we grew up, there was no reality TV.
yeah.
Everything was fake, right?
Well, it wasn't
If it
the
wasn't on the
Dukes
news, it was.
Dukes of Hazard. I mean,
Yeah,
they
but
were
that
real,
was
weren't they?
uh, but my kids are like, I've had them ask me, "Is this real?" And I'll look at them going,
Oh yeah.
"What?" You know, no, it's a TV show. But then again, the next thing they watch, it's like, America's Got Talent. Okay, well, yes, this is real. It's like,
Yeah.
but I many times like, how do you not know the difference between what's scripted and what's not? But even a lot of reality is scripted nowadays, so it is really hard to tell. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I mean, those things are blurred, and our kids don't know the difference, and
Yeah.
so
I remember years ago trying to play, I was trying to bring my son into playing some games on the Xbox. So there was that one game, was it Never Alone? Was that the one with the little um like Eskimo girl?
let me look it
I've
up. I think you're
yeah,
I think you're right. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Although I think Eskimo isn't the proper term for it.
No,
Inupi
I
or
think
something or
Inuit.
Inuit, yeah.
Uh,
So I thought that that might be kind of neat. It's got nice graphics and it tells like a story, and it's like a folklore story.
right.
And so you can play that one two-player, where one person plays the little girl and the other person plays the little fox. So I let my son control the little girl, and I was doing the fox. And what does the fox say, by the way? Nothing. So
Ding ding ding
there
ding ding
was
ding ding.
he says nothing. So there was a part where there was a polar bear and I couldn't get out of his way. This is like we had just started playing. The polar bear came after me and he like swiped at me and he knocked me down and killed me. My son burst into tears.
Wow.
And he was just bawling and I had to stop the game. And it's like here you have a child that is like no, no, they're like caught up in the game so much
Right.
that just seeing that happen to their dad, it was real to them, real to him,
Right.
let alone a kid, watching playing Wolfenstein.
Yep.
There's another one. That's like the new Colossus. No way
Yeah.
is that an appropriate. I don't know. Did you ever play that one? The
It's
beginning of it, at
Wolfenstein.
least.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you don't know what's a good game. But
Obviously, from our earlier conversation.
yeah, that's what I was saying. There's like stuff in there. It's just these games. It's not that the violence is too much because I get the argument that my kids see the stuff on TV and well, they see it to a point, but they don't understand. Do you know what I mean? It's they see and then they make their own conclusion, not like we as adults, we watch it and we're like, oh, okay, well, that's messed up. And then we go on with our day. Kids process stuff differently. And this is where I think parents are really goofing up if they're letting their kids play these games.
Yeah.
Because, it's one of those things where a kid can see it, they won't say anything, but it's stuck with them for days. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it
Mm-hmm.
messes with them, and people need to take control of their own stuff and be a parent, be a good
Yeah.
parent.
All right. Now
Anyway,
that
we should
now that
stop
all our
this.
viewers have left,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's tough.
All right.
We're both
Yeah,
parents, so it's hard not to
yeah,
comment.
yeah. And I know a lot of our listeners are too, so
Yep.
maybe they can identify at least, and maybe this will prepare them for if they got young kids, new new to the world kids, what you're going to face in a couple of years.
And
Because I'm sure being part of a gaming community, you want your kids to be part of it, right?
yeah, I'm Ryan, Gib 8777. Just they're about to have a baby, and I was like, hey, what's his gamer tag? He's just like,
Yeah.
Drano's got a new one. A lot of our community has new young ones in their lives, and so it's you know, gaming is, and especially for us, like all of us listening to this show, and you and I doing this, games are a big part of our life. And but we got to remember that there is as we've grown up, we grew up with games. We didn't have like the options, like everything back when we were playing, on the Atari 2600 and the NES. I mean, I don't think there was anything that was mature back then. Everything was
No.
safe. Now it's not. You gotta,
Well,
don't give it to them too
yeah,
early.
mature was Leisure Suit Larry. Remember that game?
Yeah, yeah. And
Everything
I
else
wouldn't let
was
my kids play
innocent.
that either. So, all
Yeah.
right. So moving on to our last story. Oh,
Yeah.
and real
So
quick, before you do, if anyone, whether you agree with us or disagree with us, feel free to send us a voicemail or an email, and we will be more than happy to play the voicemail or read your emails in the next show. So we are open to all thoughts and opinions,
yeah,
even if you're wrong.
absolutely.
So, all right, go ahead, Rob.
Even if you're wrong, you're right for sending us the message.
That's right.
Okay. So we mentioned Fortnite a little bit ago with their Battle Royale game, which is all the rage nowadays. Well, there's a sort of a competitor to Fortnite called Realm Royale. So Realm Royale's been on PC for a little while now. I think it might be still in early access or whatever, but it's free. It's on Steam, and you can get it uh, if you have a Steam account and whatnot. And it's a total ripoff of Fortnite.
Fortnite,
It's funny.
except
What's
it has chickens.
Yes, which I gotta say. So there's a couple of things in each of these games that crack me up. In Battle Royale, not Battle Royale, in Realm Royale, the chickens. I love the chickens. They just make me chuckle. Well,
Yep.
they're like running around. So instead of getting knocked down in Fortnite, where what they drop to their hands and knees and they're kind of like crawling, you turn into a chicken in Realm Royale. And then in Battle Royale, I love oh the disco bomb thing. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Boogie bomb. So it makes everybody do like Saturday Night Live. No, not Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Fever dance moves. So it's hilarious. So you can't shoot when you get grenaded with
Right.
this thing for a couple seconds. It just cracks me up. You see everybody doing like the John Travolta dances.
Well, I thought it was
But
funny when Fortnite had they added the bush, and then at
yeah,
Christmas time they put Christmas lights on the bush. I mean, that was just, yeah, that's
yeah.
funny stuff, man.
They do cute things with it.
Yeah.
And there's also this emote called Star Power, I think. So Star Power, it's this dance, and then at the end of it, the player kind of swings, and then like this heart comes out. It looks okay when it's a girl doing it, but when it's a guy, especially like it's a big brawny soldier, it looks hilarious. It just looks so funny, a little creepy almost, but it looks just so hilarious to see like a soldier guy or this like big buff guy doing this like super girly dance and then throwing out a heart. So, but anyway, going back to Realm Royale. So it looks like it's coming to consoles sometime in the near future. So you can get your Battle Royale in a different form if you're tired of PUBG and Fortnite. So you can learn something new.
Okay.
There's that. And then, real quick, looks like Xbox One is getting Dolby Vision support. So right now we support, was it HDR10? Is
Yes.
that, yeah, HDR10. That's what we have now. And Microsoft is prepping Dolby Vision for Xbox One S and X consoles. So I wonder if they can do if they're basically just doing this through software, so they could have done it from the beginning. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So Dolby Vision is thought to be better than HDR10 support. And so let's see, Dolby Vision adjusts the brightness and color of scenes with metadata and supports up to 12-bit color depth and higher peak brightness targets than HDR10. So more better, more
More
better. And
better,
that's
more
cool
better.
if your TV supports both formats, both HDR10 and Dolby Vision, you can benefit from both. So that's all I've got.
All right. So we're gonna move. I do not have a rant this week. Sorry, guys. I'll try to have something for next week. But moving into the community, let's just go right into that, Rob.
Sure. So if you'd like to send us a voicemail, you can go to thisxboxlife.com, click the voicemail widget on the right side of the screen. You can record up to 90-second voicemail. If you want to tell us something that takes longer, just do a second one, continue, whatever. Or you can also record an MP3 on a device of your choice and then send that over to us at contact@thisxboxlife.com. And, we talked a little bit ago about, if you want to make some comments on what we talked about, just send it through either one of these two here. Also, we have a Twitter account that's this or at this Xbox Life. And you can find it at thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. And we have a Facebook group. And this is a closed group, which means you have to ask to be part of the group. And we pretty much allow most people in. They have 2 questions now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 questions now to get access to the group. And most listeners should have no problem answering those. And anything that you post in there is only visible to people of the group. So your bosses and coworkers and stuff that make fun of you for playing video games will not know you post
Yeah.
in your secret life of video games.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. So that is that. And now this week's retail releases.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us today? What you got for us to play? Give us a list of games that we can buy and play. Okay, Rob.
All right, for the week of July 17th through the 20th, we have Mother Gunship on the 17th, Tempest 4000. Apparently, I missed Tempest 3000, 2000, 1000. Did you get any of those?
Nope.
So, Tempest. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Also, on the 17th, we have Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion. Close enough.
Sure.
The Path of Motus. Mugsters. On the 18th, we have The Long Reach. The Mooseman.
That's Moose.
Nidhogg.
That's Moose Man.
Moose. What did I say?
Man.
Mooseman?
You said men. There's only
Moose
one
Man.
Moose Man.
Yes. Nidhogg 2. And then on the 19th, we have Guts and Glory. All right. And on the 20th, Frost and Dolings. This looks like out of all these, what, Guts and Glories probably the shiny penny.
I don't know about that. It says a game
Yeah.
about father and son riding their bicycle through obstacle courses of death and other fun family experiences.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if there's a winner in this group.
Yeah.
Tempest 4000 might be it.
Oh boy. Yeah. So that's the games this coming week. Games with gold. We have for Xbox One, Android Assault or Assault Android Cactus. Let's say that right. Assault Android Cactus. That's for the entire month of July. And then new coming tomorrow is Death Squared. That's for July 16th through August 15th. For Xbox 360 and back compat, we have Splinter Cell Conviction coming tomorrow. So that's a pretty good one there.
Yep.
All right, and then as always, if you make any purchases on Amazon, make sure to use our affiliate link. You can find that on our Facebook group. What is it? What is it called now? And it's an announcement post or something. They changed the name of.
Yeah, I think it's
They used to be pinned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up at the top. It's like the first thing that you see when you go into the group. And so you can find it on there. You can go to the website, click the link to either the UK or the US store, and just make sure to do that each and every time you make your purchases on Amazon. It does not cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support the show. Also, if you're an iTunes user, find us on the iTunes store. Give us a 5-star rating. The more of those that we get, the more we get bumped in the rankings, ratings, whatever you want to call it over there. And we broadcast on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. Subscribe to us on all platforms. And thanks to Learned Your Lesson for the music of the show. And that is all.
All right.
Do you have anything to add,
Nothing.
Mr. Mark?
Got nothing. So,
okay.
Thank you guys for watching and listening each and every week. And we will be back next week. I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
And I'm Rob, also known as Prestar. Thanks for listening, everybody.